The title race in Scotland, right, as we know, is proven to be a belter, Charlie, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's fantastic. We could argue about the quality of the Old Firm, or quality of this, that, and next thing. But you and I spoke about it earlier on in the week. The one thing that's been brilliant, and I'm sure, Dino, you'll agree, everybody for the first time in a long time is talking about it. And it's great.
It's brilliant. What a season it's been. And the credit to Hearts. I mean, they don't need me to say how good they've been. A lot of credit should go to Derek McInnes and what he's done with that squad. Now, talk about, as you say, talk about how bad Rangers started the season, how bad Celtic have been, Menonci coming in, Martin O'Neill being the saviour twice. Brendan Rodgers, of course, started off the league. But listen, what a league title, what a fight for this coming in the last 5 games.
Has it surprised you? Well, I know it has. We spoke earlier and you maybe explain it. It surprised me, Hearts, not where they are, but it actually surprised me how they maintained it. Because I thought that losing Shanklin and Devlin for that period, I honestly felt it would have a bigger effect on them than it had. But they've handled it really well. I mean, the goalkeeper, 2 centre-backs, they've been solid. The wee boy Braga up front's been different.
100%. Right through the spine of the team, they've had the strongest spine. The strikers, as you mentioned. I mean, it surprised me. I put a tweet out, if you check my tweets, and this is before Shankland and Devlin were injured, and said they'll be 8 points behind come March. That's how confident I was that they would fall away. Now, you can imagine.
You forget that, have they?
Oh, you can imagine the stick I'm getting now. And I've heard recently that Derek McInnes hangs stuff up in the change room. I heard from one of his players that's what he does. I don't know if he's done it this year, but I hope to God my tweets no helped him this year, because it wouldn't be what I was trying to do. But anyway, they've been so good. They've been up there. They've surprised me, because no in my lifetime have I seen a team outside Celtic and Rangers even compete this far.
Yeah.
So to see Hearts doing it, it surprised me. But they're not over the line yet, and we're going to find out what they're all about. If they want to be with the big boys, let's see what they do in the next 5 games. They've got some big games coming. They play Hibs at the weekend.
That's massive. That's massive. I mean,
deep down, the pair of you, do you think Hearts can win the league?
I've said no majority of the season, but I've turned to trying to get the pressure on them. Dean, I'm now saying that it's their title to lose. With 5 games to go, I don't think they want a pat in the back for no winning, for having a decent season and no winning the league. I think now they can see the finishing line. Let's see what they're all about. I'm
going to tell you why they can win it, right? I actually think, and we spoke about it before, I think the momentum is with Rangers at this moment in time. Not a massive amount of momentum, but slightly more. I think slightly more than the other two. But can Hearts win it? And I'll say yes, and I'll tell you why. And it's quite straightforward, you know. They've only lost once to the Old Firm this year, and that was the Rangers, the game at Ibrox. They've already beaten Rangers, I think, twice. They've already beaten Celtic twice and drawn with them. So they've had 1 defeat in the best part of 6 games against Rangers and Celtic. All they need to do is keep that run going and they'll win the league.
It sounds easy, but it's nerve.
But Charlie,
hold your nerve.
But Charlie makes a great point. I mean, what a game they've got.
Every time they have a defeat or a bad result, you're thinking, this is it, they're away, and they respond. And that's what surprised me this year. I've thought a couple of times they've had a bad spell. I think they picked up 5 points out of a possible 12 or whatever, or more than that. But then Celtic at the same time went through a bad spell. Rangers the same, in between managers. Now they're responding well. Now we'll see how they go the next 5 games. But listen,
the next game's Hibs at Easter Road.
Yeah, that's a big one.
I mean, everybody's forgetting. I mean, the Hibs boys will be devastated if Hearts win the league.
If Celtic win the league this year, right, it'll be one of Martin O'Neill's greatest. In fact, it will be the greatest title Martin O'Neill's won, because he's not a striker majority of the season. He's the goalie with one arm. Schmeichel's been playing with a rotator cuff issue that's needed an operation. The injuries they've had, you've gone through Carter Vickers, Johnson, arguably the best players, Jota, who's not even been mentioned this year, done his cruciate last year. The recruitment's been shocking for Celtic. If they win it this year, it's Martin O'Neill's greatest title win.
On top of all that, I heard you say the Scottish FA have fixed the fixtures and everything.
I didn't. I wasn't. I wasn't so positive of my accusation as that, but I kind of inferred. But it still kind of set me up a little bit. Listen, it's one of those, Ms. Dina, we're talking about it again. Last game of the season, Celtic play Hearts, right? Now, can you imagine what that's going to be like, that particular game, if Hearts need a point to win it, Celtic need a point to win it, whatever it may be, right? But then the flip side of the coin, Rangers go to Falkirk last game of the season. Now, Falkirk have got a big game tomorrow against Wheat Lenny's team, right? Scottish Cup semi-final. Falkirk played in Fairland. And that's a derby, by the way. What a game that is going to be. Imagine Falkirk win, right? They play Rangers last game of the season, and they've got the cup final, the following week, whatever it may be. What kind of team are you picking?
So what you're saying is that the last game of the season, Celtic might let Hearts win if they need to.
I'm maybe not as strong as that. Maybe not as strong as that. But flip side of the coin, would your money be if Celtic needed to win, or Hearts needed to win the league to stop Rangers winning it? Do you think Hearts would get a result at Celtic Park? I think they might. I think they might. And the other way about.
I'm not getting involved.
But that's the best. There is no country. No, I'll take it even better. There is no area on the planet, right, like the west of Scotland for a conspiracy theory. It's just absolutely fantastic. But the one thing that's guaranteed, some big games. Motherwell will have a say in it as well.
Good team. That's
They've
the thing.
picked a little bit, Charlie, yeah, but he's done a great job, Ascow, hasn't he?
He's done a brilliant job. I mean, what he's done with a team with Motherwell's budget this year, you should see them playing. The football they're playing, they play through the lines. I've not seen a team outside Celtic and Rangers play like that. What better Ascow's done, and that's why he's probably a good option for the next Celtic manager. I wanted to ask you, would you think of Bellamy for the next Celtic manager, fellow Welshman?
Well, this is his first job, manager of Wales, isn't it? So, yeah, I think he's got a philosophy in his head that, like you say, philosophy. He's got like a way that he wants his team to play, and that's half the battle.
Yep.
When you stand up in front of a group of players and you're convinced yourself of what you're telling them's right, even if you're wrong, they will go with you.
Yeah.
But if you stand up in front of them and start making it up, we've had it. We've all had managers, and you think he's not saying anything because he don't know. So he does know how to get his team playing. Unfortunately for us, you can't sign players at international level, so the players really that aren't good enough to play the way he's trying to get them playing. But he's stuck with it, and he's done well with the players he's got. I'm not hammering the players.
Do you know what I do like? The fact that maybe another potential Celtic manager, and it's another ex. I love to see the kind of old ex-players. When I say old, I mean ex-players coming in, taking their badges, doing their bits and pieces. Frank Lampard's a great story down the road. Robbie Keane would be another one. I think Charlie would come into the equation. He's been over, did his business in Israel, and then obviously Hungary as well. Would that be another one you think would interest?
What's wrong with Martin O'Neill? What's wrong with Martin O'Neill?
Well, we're assuming
he's going to pack in.
Yeah, and by the way, he might not, but I think he will. Right?
I don't think he will.
You don't?
No, I think he loves it. It's in him. It's like Roy Hodgson. They've got that bug.
No, I get that.
You can't sit down.
To manage Celtic and Rangers, right?
Yeah.
At that age, and it's no taking away from anything Martin O'Neill's done because he's been a saviour this year. But to and do that, I mean, to manage it with that intensity, with that pressure on him, week in, week out, it's got to take its toll. And
I think he enjoys it. I think Martin enjoys the aggro that comes with the job. I think he enjoys the pressure. And I think he was fed up. He's playing golf, bit of golfing. He does bits and bobs.
Yeah.
But I think he was fed up doing nothing. That's
but
why he took it.
the same time, I think massive surgery needed to the Celtic squad. And the club, the whole thing, it's been fractured. It's been fractured.
Yeah, it's been fractured. It's not a short-term fix, this. And I think Martin O'Neill deserves a place. I would get Martin O'Neill on the board as a football person on the board. I think he deserves a place in the club. He's been a big part of bringing the fans and board back in a kind of amicable way. The Green Brigade are back in. Everybody's together for the last wee bit, and he's played a huge part in that.
Tell you, the interesting thing is, I need to go to a break, but we've got Scotland to talk about, World Cup to talk about. The interesting thing, I think the votes are already in for Manager of the Year, which is absolutely incredible. They might not be, hopefully they're not. How can you possibly give somebody the Manager of the Year right now with so much football we played, a cup to win, and it could be anyone in the league? I mean, if Derek McInnes wins the league, he's got to get it. Martin, he's got to get it. Danny Rowe, Rangers, he's got to get it. I mean, who do you give the Manager of the Year to?